Hello, everybody. Welcome to a very, this probably won't be a super long LRRTech, but basically I figured out something cool and I wanted to show it to you. And also, this is actually something that, I don't know, maybe it could be a thing, because I have some experience with programming and scripting and stuff, especially like JavaScript and other web-based technologies. But I'm not that. I'm not very comfortable with sort of more, low-level languages or more complex languages. For actually like making compiled programs, Java, or C or whatever and stuff. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to show you a something cool that I came up with, but it's not the best. It's something cool that I came up with and I think is useful, but it could be so much better than what I'm going to show you, but I do not have the skills to make it better. And I'm hoping maybe somebody watching will have it, will know how to make it better, or be able to talk to somebody who knows how to make it better. So anyway, this is kind of this is like a hopeful stream, in the hopes that something will be better. So anyway, all right. So basically, so the idea here, what I want to talk about today is recognizing magic cards that are recognizing magic cards on your own computer as they're being played on a stream. So, you're watching Loading Ready Run stream, you're watching a Magic stream, you're watching somebody streaming Magic online, and the cards are too small for you to actually read the card. And so the idea is being able to use the same recognition tech that we're using for our live streams, our real streams, which throws up the card large. But the idea is that using similar technology, you can control on your end and just make any card on the board large for you to look at. So I think that's kind of a neat idea, and it makes it hopefully it will make it easier to follow the game. Now, this is something that I sort of fiddled around with a little bit a while ago, but my interest was rekindled in it because of a program that you may have heard of recently. It's an extension for Chrome called Ocular Automaton. Let me just switch over to that here. So if you haven't heard about this, it's really neat program that somebody has made. I have no knowledge of the person who made this. I just heard about it. And basically what it is you can, so if you're watching a stream, like for instance, say I've got my, this is the Eldritch Moon draft that I'm watching here. So, this is going along, it's playing. And you see up here, I've got this little icon here. If I click that, I can draw a box around any card, and it will attempt to recognize it. So you can see over here, it recognized it, which is pretty cool. This is nothing to do with what I wanted. This is a cool program that you should check out, Ocular Automaton. And so you can click on different cards and say like, hey, what's this card? So you see, this is where so Ocular Automaton is a neat program, but it's not perfect, as that demonstrated. For one thing, you have to draw that square around it, and for another thing, the actual recognition software system that it uses is not the most sophisticated, because it's limited to what it can do as a Chrome extension. So it's doing it actually in JavaScript, I think, which is pretty neat. But like, for instance, if I go over this guy, it's not the right one, Tattered Haunter. So, it's also drawing the box is kind of a pain when people move stuff or if things aren't quite straight. So, it's not the perfect system, but it is a neat idea. And so it made me think about this and wondering if something could be done. That didn't work at all. So anyway, so you see, it's a neat idea, but it doesn't quite work as reliably as you would want it to. And so I got to thinking about the system that we use for Magic Online, or for our streams, which is using the Deck Builder Card Cam, which is really good at finding cards in different ways and different things. And if they're rotated or obscured by stuff, it's really good at that. And so I was thinking, is there a way that you can not necessarily sort of combine the two, but or use the card cam software to do this sort of live recognizing of stuff that's being recorded. And so the system that I came up, so again, what I'm saying here, so the system that I came up with in order to do this is what I was able to work out on my own. If the makers of Card Cam, or I don't know, if the guy at the Ocular Automaton or whatever, or somebody who just has a more sophisticated knowledge of some of the systems involved, was able to could definitely make a better version of this. But this is what I came up with. So there's another program that we actually do use on Loading Ray Run, but it's not relevant for this particular circumstance, which is called Sparkle Cam. And Sparkle Cam is it's one of these virtual webcam programs. So there's like Minicam and a couple different ones. And so this does a desktop capture thing. So, and what it can do is right here, which you see is follow the cursor. You can see there. And so you can see the preview, there. So this means it's following the cursor. So you can see how this works here. So this follows, so, this would be normally used for like some kind of presentation, if you want to like give a tutorial on how to use a piece of software or something. But this also provides a virtual webcam. So if we go into Deck Builder Card Cam and use that select camera and use that Sparkle Cam virtual webcam as our camera, you can see right now it's all kind of wee because it's there. But we could go over here and we can, okay, so the first thing here, you see this is way small. So have to actually zoom it in a little bit. So there's a little bit of, like I said, there's a little bit of, it could be more easy to use. So if we zoom this in a little bit, then when we go into here, you can see it's pretty good. And there, Silver Fur Partisan. Oh, we go there. Eternal Scourge. We go there. Skurstag Supplicant. Chittering Host. Graph Rats. So as you can see, we can play this along. And now instead of drawing that square and doing all that stuff, we can just mouse over whichever one we want. Boop, 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 and it tells you what it is. Couple things that you can do to make it better. You can see here there's a big mouse obviously in the way, which can make the recognition a little bit worse. So if you can actually just have it recognized just to the side of the mouse, that way the mouse won't actually be obscuring it. So as you can imagine, obviously combining the two programs together and having all this stuff, you could make this much more user friendly. But it's surprisingly effective. And what's neat is that it works not only in like a live game like this, but if I go over like to here's a Kaladesh draft that we were doing earlier, and I load in Kaladesh. You can see it works pretty well on Magic Online as well. Doop-a-doo. So if you're interested about any cards, you can just go, oh hey, what's that card? So yeah. So this is a kind of a cool idea. So the basically what's lacking in terms of the technology is better integration between it, right? So right now I've got the stream and I'm running two different other programs. And so what you would want to do, the ideal situation would be if, like, say, Deck Builder or some other company could use, you basically, something like how the this ocular automaton software works, where it would be just something that you could really easily load into Chrome or load into your web browser, and then you're just immediately going boonk, and it's like appearing, on an overlay here, so you don't have to have it like as a separate window and all that kind of stuff. But it's kind of a neat idea. It's something that you can just do like at home right now with current technology. I mean, both of these programs, SparkleCam and Deck Builder, are commercial programs. Like as you can see over here, there's a watermark on this, but for our purposes, that's actually not that big a problem because we don't need to actually use it as video. Deck Builder, the limitation with it is not is with building decks and stuff, not with the card camp software. But you can also support these pieces of software. And if you're on a Mac, there should be a similar. Card cam is available, or Deck Builder is available for Mac, and I'm sure there are virtual webcam software that will do a similar thing. I don't know if CamTwist will, but basically the same kind of deal. Yeah, it's a cool thing. Like I said, this is going to be a pretty short LRRTech. It was mostly just I wanted to show you that because it was super cool, with the idea that maybe some of you will find that useful, and maybe even somebody would have some more information that would enable it to be even better than it is. I know some awesome person came up with a way to make card cam load in custom card configurations before we were actually able to talk to the card cam people directly and get the special software for that. So Deck Builder is not open source, sadly. I believe there are card recognition software that is open source that might be interesting to look at. I don't know that much about it. Deck Builder is the one I like and the one I recommend because it seems to be the most good, or the best at recognizing stuff in a wide variety of conditions. It does have limitations in terms of it can't load all the cards all in at the same time, but its algorithm or its system that it uses to recognize cards is very deals with issues like rotated cards, obscured cards, small cards, large cards, cards that are not lit very well. So, yeah, the recognition component. Yeah, could be the recognition component, as a library that it could be plugged into something else, would be amazing. But that is not where we are currently. But, maybe that's something that could happen at some point Anyway, so I'm going to go offline now. I mostly just wanted to record this and tell you guys about it, and maybe so that it could be shown to other people who might have some interest in it. But I will talk to you in a little while. We're going to be doing more Overwatch in just a few minutes, or an hour, no, more than a few minutes, about an hour and a half. More of the Overwatch tournament, and then tonight it's going to be Crossing the Streams with myself, and I believe it's going to be myself and Heather and Ian and Beej, and we're going to be playing some more of the Lovers in a Dangerous Space-Time. Except this time is the one that I played with Cam a while ago, and I was thinking it would be kind of fun to play it with 4 people, because with 2 people was cool, and it seemed like with 4 people you could have all the different stations covered and stuff, and it could be quite good. So we're gonna give that a shot, and yeah, I will talk to you guys later. Bye.